Hey there, jewelry lovers. Have you ever wanted the power of a Smith Little Torch but couldn't afford it? Today, you're in for a treat because I'm going to introduce you to the Gentec Small Torch for Disposable Tanks. It gives you the power of a Smith Little Torch without the price tag. It is a game changer for melting silver scraps and more. I started making jewelry in early 2022. I started out as a wire wrapper, and earlier this year I discovered metalsmithing. I started off using a tiny little micro torch that I got from a hardware store. That did okay for a while, but eventually I discovered that I really needed more precision and power. So I moved on to the Durston micro torch, and this little guy is great. But I recently discovered that I needed even more power because my pieces are getting bigger. I want to melt down my scraps so I can make sheet and wire, so I can save some money because all of those little scraps add up. So I started looking into buying a big girl torch, as that's what I call it anyway. As soon as I started looking, first, there isn't a lot of information out there about what exactly you need when you buy a torch. Eventually, I discovered what I needed, but not through like a Google search or looking at a YouTube video. So when I started my search, I started with the Smith Little Torch. I'm sure everybody starts there. But it seemed out of reach for me because I don't have a ton of money. I'm a stay-at-home mom. This jewelry thing right now is a side hustle. So I needed to find something that was less expensive. I also didn't feel safe having those large canisters of fuel in my home studio. So I kept looking, and eventually I discovered the Gentec Small Torch for disposable canisters. It really is a game changer for me. It retails for around $180. I'll have a link below to the store where I purchased it from. I don't know if they have it in stock right now, but I did also find it on Amazon for around the same price. Anyway, this is it. It looks just like the Smith Little Torch, and so far I'm loving it. It has done everything that I needed it to do, and it even melted my metal. I need to get a new ingot mold. This one that I purchased on Amazon has a 2mm hole. You can't pour hot molten metal inside a 2mm hole like that. So I'm going to get a new one. I've linked it to my video description below. It has a bigger hole, and it's from a company that I trust that sells on Amazon. I've purchased many things from them before. So once I get it, I'll do a review of that as well. Okay, so right now I'm going to go over how to turn on the torch, get everything started. Now mine is already on, so I'm just going to tell you what to do when you get it. So when you get the torch in, these two pieces here are the regulators. They will be separate. You'll get this little stand here, and then these right from here to the torch handle will be separate, and then the little you'll have to put on the tip. Just a second, let me get my ears. So the tip comes off pretty easily. I use these little pliers just to tighten them down just a little bit. But here's the tip. When you get the torch in, put the green regulator, just the regulator, don't do anything with the torch yet. put the green regulator on your oxygen tank, which is the red one. Put the blue regulator on the fuel tank. Now you can put these on MAP gas too, but I'm using propane. And please make sure that you read up on all that and decide whether or not you want to use propane or MAP gas. MAP gas is, I think it does burn hotter, but I feel safer with propane around my children. Now my children cannot get into this room here, and it is away from them, but you know, just in case. So you put these on, and now the way you're going to know if they're open or not is, and I'm going to set these up so that you can see the difference. And I'm going to bring them, well, no, I'm going to leave them right there because I don't know where that. So this unscrews, right? So I can do it right now. It's not going to hurt anything. So right now, this is going up and it's closing. It doesn't make any sense to anybody, but on the oxygen, you turn it to the left. So I'm going to open it back up. When you get the regulators, make sure that this is screwed all the way to the top. So like there should be a bigger gap here. So turn the oxygen to the left, and the propane, it should be all the way to the left, both of them, and then you put them on your tanks. Once you got that all straightened out, you put each of the tubes, you put the hoses on there. Green goes to oxygen, red goes to fuel. You put these on there, make sure they're good and tight. I got a wrench down there just so that everything's all good. And then you make sure these are closed. They each go to the left to close. And you start opening it up just like I just did. Go all the way open. Now I'm going to put these back to where they were. And I am... So once you get all of that done, then you're going to open this up for 3 seconds on each side to clear the lines. So turn this 1, 2, 3, close. Turn this a little bit, 1, 2, 3, close. Okay, that's all set. Now you can put on your tip. So I start it in the position almost to, well, I get it started. Then when it's almost on there, I move the tip to the position that I want it to be in and tighten it more. Use my little pliers to make sure it's real nice and tight. And then give me just a second. I'm going to move the camera up because I don't want to light it down here. So I'll be right back. This is my soldering station. I don't have anything to solder right now, but as I light the torch, I'm going to turn off this light right here so that you can see the flame, because I didn't have anybody to tell me. I mean, I had people to describe to me what it was supposed to look like, but I didn't have anybody tell me how to turn this on to a flame that would be good for soldering. I am actually still trying to figure that out, but I'm going to show you what has worked for me so far. Once I learn more, I will post another maybe a little short to add to this video. So I don't like the little flint thing, so I use this Durston torch to light it. You're going to turn the propane to just barely. Then you're going to slowly back it up. So I turned it to the left to turn it on just a tiny bit, and then I slowly bring it back to the right to bring the flame to where it is touching the copper. And then I am going to gently turn on the oxygen. Sometimes it blows it out. So I barely turned it on, but the flame is changing. I bring it to about here. I hope you can see that on the camera. I bring it back to about here, and then I just start soldering. And then when you're done, you close the oxygen first, and then you close the fuel. Now, to shut everything down, you just go backwards. But when you close the regulators, once you're done closing the regulators, you are going to light the propane again, and only the propane. Do not introduce any oxygen into it. And let the propane that is in the lines slowly burn out. You can open this all the way and it will start burning out. And then after that, you'll open up the oxygen with the fire out, obviously. You'll open up the oxygen and just let it hiss out of the hose. And then close them both back up and you're done for the night. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions or have any ideas for any more videos that I should do, questions that have not been answered yet, please drop them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe for future videos, and I hope to see you soon.